Are you thinking about moving to Lexington, Massachusetts? Maybe you've been relocated here for a job. Lexington, my hometown, is best known as the birthplace of American liberty. If you're considering moving to Lexington or the surrounding historic towns, it's important to get ahead and find out facts that might surprise you before you move here. So I've lived in Metro West all of my life, and I'm here to share pertinent facts about relocating to our beautiful area. So in this video, I'll be talking about everything you need to know about Lexington. We're going to talk about schools, we're going to talk about real estate, talking about our charming town center, and so much more. And in the end, I'm going to make a correction to one of my previous videos when I made an historically inaccurate date, and I thank my Lexington viewers for correcting me. I'm Jane. Welcome to my channel, Living in the Boston Burbs with Jane. Each week I release a new video sharing information about the market, about homes for sale, and featuring different towns to help you make an informed decision about relocating to Greater Boston. So if you are thinking about moving, please reach out and give me a call, as I would be delighted to help you. And I've had a number of buyers find me via this channel in the past year and a half, and I've found them some great homes. So let's dive into what's important to know about Lexington. So let's start with where it is. Lexington is northwest of downtown Boston. Now, it's only about 12 miles away. However, it's not as easy to commute to downtown Boston as some of our other suburbs. The reason is, years ago, they took out the commuter rail train track and made it into a fantastic bike path. So the bike path is one of the greatest things about Lexington, and you can take that all the way to Boston. I've actually ridden from Lexington through Cambridge to downtown, and you can go in the opposite direction, way far out into the burbs, and it's linking into other bike trails. So that's something I'm really excited about for our communities. What's not so great is that if you are commuting to downtown Boston, you're looking at driving or taking a bus, you can go to Alewife, which is a major red line subway station, which is in Cambridge, and those are your best bets. But a lot of people living in Lexington are either a combination of working from home and trying to get to our tech centers like Cambridge, where it's still pretty easy to drive and park, though not quick, and maybe also to more suburban tech locations like Waltham. The towns that are surrounding Lexington, to give you some perspective, are historic Concord, Waltham, which is more of a city vibe, Lincoln, which is a definite rural vibe, Burlington, and Arlington. The public schools are top-notch. They are continually in the top 20 of the best public school systems in Greater Boston. Niche.com gives it an A+. So what's frustrating for me, lucky me to have this frustration, in Greater Boston, most of our towns are rated A+, or certainly but an A. So I also like to check the Boston Magazine rankings, because that compares Lexington to Wellesley to Dover Sherborne. And personally, I feel like the top 15, 20 schools are pretty similar in quality and the education that your children are going to get. However, there's bragging rights if you're in the top 5 or 10. In 2023, Lexington was rated number 14, but it has definitely been in the top 10 consistently in the last 20 years. There's one beautiful high school. There are 2 middle schools, Clark and Diamond, and then there's a number of neighborhood elementary schools. So that's something you find in a lot of our towns in Greater Boston, is that we have these neighborhood elementary schools, your community and your neighborhood, its identity. There's lots to do in downtown Lexington. It's a beautiful town center. There's lots of historic buildings that you can tour. You can go to the Lexington Green and you can get a tour that will tell you all about Paul Roger's ride into Lexington and the shot heard round the world. So it is super fun if you're a history buff, or even if you want to teach your kids about American history. In addition, there's a number of great restaurants, and there's a bistro that I just think is so fun called the Town Meeting Bistro, which is a nod to our form of government. We do have a town meeting form of government. My dad served for 30 years. You have to run to get reelected and get your neighbors to vote for you, and he used to go knocking door to door for many years. It hasn't changed that much in the last 200 years as a form of government. There's a number of great boutiques, and the other great thing about Lexington is it's super convenient to the Burlington Mall, which is a major mall which has a Macy's at one end and there's a Nordstrom's and all kinds of other great shopping. Lexington has great public facilities. There's a public skating rink. There's an Olympic-sized pool at Hayden. There's an outdoor swim hole called the Reservoir, the Res, but we don't get our water to drink from there anymore. You just swim there. And sometimes you can skate there when it's cold enough in the winter. So Fisk Hill is another fantastic place to hike and walk, which is another great historical area that you should also check out because the Minutemen marched right through there on their way to Concord. So let's talk about Lexington real estate. The good news is in Lexington, there is something for everyone. There are beautiful antiques. There are really super cool contemporaries. There are condos near the center of town for people over 55. There's in-town small lots. There's historic neighborhoods. There's larger lots. Something for everyone. However, it is expensive. In 2023, as of November, the median list home price was $2.2 million, and the median sold price is $1.3 million. In 2023, homes were staying on the market on average of 57 days. However, like the surrounding towns, what we saw in 2023, just like 2022, is anything up to about 1.5 million was going very quickly, especially if it was in great condition and perceived as well priced by the buyer community. Once you get up over 2 million, over 2.5, homes are sitting on the market a little bit longer. Buyers are more discretionary, and you definitely have more options and maybe 5 minutes to make up your mind. So one thing that we're going to continue to see, in my opinion, into 2024 is this pretty competitive market under even $2 million. So here's my correction. In my first Lexington video, I talked about the shot heard round the world and Paul Revere's ride and the Redcoats marching into Lexington Center, and I said it happened in 1776, and it actually happened in 1775. So I apologize for that inaccuracy, and keep them coming. Keep me honest. And if you're curious about what it would be like to work with me as your buyer's agent here in Greater Boston, I can share a little bit about my process. The first thing I would do is set up a call either by Zoom or on the phone and talk about your goals, your timing, what's important to you and your family, and I'm going to make sure that you're connected with a great lender and pre-approved. I have a couple that I work with a lot that do a great job for my buyers. In addition to offering great rates, they have great service, and that is important, especially in this competitive environment. We'll also talk about your needs and wants, what style home you're interested in, how much land you need, and of course, what's your budget. At that point, I might make some suggestions about different towns to consider. The next part is fun. We get to start sharing homes that I think will appeal to you, and you can share things that you think would work for you. And then we can set those up to see when you're coming to your in-person visit. And then we're going to develop a strategy to put together very competitive offers to help make you successful in your bids to purchase a home. So if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to reach out, drop it in the comments here, send me an email or give me a call. And remember to subscribe, as each week I'm sharing new information about what it's like to live in Greater Boston and Metro West. So thank you for watching and have a great day.